What's up guys, my name is Johnny Sins and welcome to SinsTV. Look, if you're over 40 and you've noticed that your sex drive just isn't what it used to be, you're not alone. I mean, you are really not alone. I get messages every single day from guys who are worried that something is seriously wrong with them because they just don't want it the way they used to. And I gotta say, I've been in the adult industry for over 25 years now. I've seen this from every angle. Inside the industry, outside the industry, and I'm not gonna lie, I've felt it myself too. And here's the thing most guys don't understand. Low libido after 40, it's not some permanent sentence. It's not the end of your sex life. It is absolutely fixable. And that's what today's video is all about. I'm gonna give you the exact things I do, the professional secrets I've learned from 25 plus years on set to keep my drive exactly where it needs to be, no matter what age I am. So before we get into it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, it helps the channel, and honestly, it just makes sure you don't miss this stuff. All right, let's get into it. You know, I remember this one time, it was probably maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and I woke up one morning and I just didn't feel it. You know what I mean? I didn't feel that fire, that thing that had always been there. And it scared the hell out of me, honestly, because my whole career, my whole identity, everything is built on being ready, being reliable. And suddenly my body was like, nah, not today. And I thought, well, I guess this is it. I guess this is just what happens when you get older, right? Wrong. I was so wrong, it's almost embarrassing. What I didn't realize back then, and what I know now after years of actually understanding how the male body works, is that low libido isn't just getting old. It's not some switch that flips when you hit 40. The thing is, it's almost always a combination of small things stacking up. Stress, sleep, what you're eating, how you're moving your body, or not moving it. And then on top of all that, there's the mental side, the pressure, the anxiety about whether you can even still perform. And here's where my experience in the industry actually gives me, I guess, a weird advantage. Because I've had to learn how to perform on command. Not when I'm in the mood, not when the stars align, but when the director says action. And that taught me something huge. Your libido is not just a feeling, it's a system, and you can train it. So let me give you the first thing I want you to try. The first thing, and this sounds so simple, it's almost stupid, but I promise you, it works. You gotta start moving your body differently. And I don't mean go to the gym and get jacked. I mean, look, when I'm preparing for a scene, or honestly just trying to keep myself in that zone day to day, I do 20 minutes of something, anything. Could be a fast walk, could be body weight squats, could be jumping rope, but here's why it matters. Your testosterone levels, which are a huge part of your sex drive, they spike after even a short burst of exercise, like within minutes. And if you do it consistently, that baseline just rises, slowly, naturally. I've seen it in my own blood work. I started doing this thing where before I even check my phone in the morning, I drop and do like 30 push-ups. Just 30, takes a minute. And I'm telling you, the difference in how I feel by 10 a.m. is night and day compared to when I skip it. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Johnny, I barely have energy to get out of bed, let alone do push-ups. And I hear you, I really do, but that's the trap. The less you move, the less energy you have, the less you want sex, the less you move. It's a loop. You gotta break it somewhere, and I promise you, the movement is the easiest place to break it. All right, so that's step one, but there's a second piece to this, and this one took me way too long to figure out. And it has nothing to do with your body and everything to do with what's happening up here. Performance anxiety is a libido killer. It just is. And here's what I mean by that. When you've had a few experiences where things didn't go the way you wanted, maybe you couldn't get it up, maybe you finished too fast, whatever it was, your brain starts to associate sex with failure, with stress. And when your brain sees sex as a threat instead of a reward, it shuts down your drive completely. It's a protection mechanism. The thing is, well, let me back up a second. Even I've dealt with this. You'd think after thousands of scenes it would just be automatic, right? But no. There have been times on set, especially early on, where the pressure got to me, where I was so in my head about I have to perform right now that my body just didn't cooperate. And the way I got through it, I stopped making it about the finish line. I stopped making sex about the orgasm. And I know that sounds backwards coming from a porn star, but hear me out. When you take the pressure off the ending, you can actually be present for the whole thing. You can focus on what feels good right now. Not, am I gonna stay hard, or am I gonna finish too quick? Just this moment, this sensation, her, him, whoever you're with, just being there. Guys, this one mental shift changed everything for me, and I mean everything. Now I want to talk about something that's been a real game changer for me personally. And look, I wouldn't bring this up if I didn't actually use it and believe in it. There's this product called Nitric Boost, and I started using it about, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago. And I gotta be honest with you, I was skeptical at first because I've tried a lot of things over the years and most of it is just noise. But here's what I learned about Nitric Boost that made me actually pay attention. It's not some mystery pill full of weird chemicals. It's a natural powder. You just mix it with water once a day. And the way it works is, you know how erections are basically just blood flow, right? Well, there's this smooth muscle in your pelvic floor that traps the blood and keeps you hard. But over time, especially as we age, oxidative stress builds up around that muscle and it stops working as efficiently. That's where things start to not work the way they used to. Nitric Boost targets that exact problem. It's got ingredients like Icarin, which is horny goat weed by the way, plus Tongkat Ali, fenugreek, citrulline, nettle root, all stuff that's actually been studied for blood flow and nitric oxide support. Made in the USA, FDA registered facility, and I started drinking it every morning. And I'm not gonna lie, within maybe 2-3 weeks, I noticed a real difference. Not just in the bedroom, but in my energy, my drive, that ready feeling came back. I'll drop the link in the description and it's also pinned in the comments. Go check it out, do your own research, you'll see what I mean. All right, so we covered movement, we covered the mental side. Let me give you one more thing. And this one is so overlooked, it's almost criminal. Sleep. I know it sounds basic, but here's the stat that when I first heard it, actually made me change how I live my life. If you sleep less than 5 hours a night for just 1 week, your testosterone can drop by up to 15%. 15% in 1 week. And the thing is, well, when I was younger, I could function on 4 hours of sleep and still be ready to go. But after 40, your body does not mess around. It needs recovery. It needs that deep sleep where your hormones actually regenerate. When I started prioritizing 7 to 8 hours, and I mean really prioritizing it, not just hoping for it, my morning wood came back like clockwork. And that for me is the biggest sign that everything is working right down there. If you're not waking up with erections regularly, that's your body sending you a message. It's telling you something is off. And sleep is almost always part of the equation. Now all of this stuff, the movement, the mindset shift, the sleep, it all works together. It's not pick one, it's a system. And if you actually do these things consistently for just a couple weeks, I promise you will feel the difference. Your drive comes back, that hunger comes back, and then your partner notices, and then you feel more confident, and then it just builds on itself. It's a good loop this time. So look, everything I just told you works. I've lived it, I've tested it on myself for years. And if you want to take it up a notch, that's where Nitric Boost comes in. It's not a replacement for doing the work. It's the extra push, the thing that helps your body do what it's supposed to do naturally. 1 scoop a day, that's it. Link is in the description and pinned in the comments. Use it, thank me later. All right guys, here's what I want you to take away from this. Low libido after 40 is not your destiny. It's not who you are now. It's just a signal, your body telling you something needs attention. And now you know exactly what to do about it. You've got the tools, you've got the knowledge. Now you just gotta act on it. If this video helped you, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Because trust me, there are a lot of guys out there suffering in silence, thinking they're the only ones. You're not, and it's fixable. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.